Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. It's your host, Matt Seha. We are buzzing as always. It's a beautiful day in Mexico, and we have one of the true GOATs on the show today. Super pumped to get into it. The one and only Gaurav Sharma, the CTO of IO.net, where he leads the tech-driven departments with a focus on backend engineering, AI, and data infrastructure. With a track record of senior tech leadership, he has previously headed teams managing core engineering initiatives at a couple companies that you may have heard of, like Binance, Agoda, Amazon, eBay, and HP. Wowza. His career highlights include optimizing data processes and scaling technology solutions to meet complex demands. He is driven by a passion for leveraging tech, and he aims to drive innovation and operational efficiency within the decentralized space. These guys are absolutely blowing up right now, and it's a perfect time to have them on. Gaurav, welcome to the show, my friend. How you doing? I guess lovely morning for me, lovely evening for you.
I'm doing great, Matt. God's been great, and looking forward to our discussion.
Yes, let's jump right into it. Let's set the stage for the listeners here. Give us a little bit about your background, the TLDR, the elevator pitch. You've obviously worked for some incredible companies. You worked for Amazon, you worked for HP, two of the most well-known, biggest behemoths in the world. And then transitioned over to the biggest, I still think the biggest crypto company in the space, Binance, who's just, again, crazy big. I remember doing the Crypto News Weekly roundup a couple of weeks back at the end of 2024, and there was a stat, and it was Binance had more inflows in the year of 2024 than the following 9 exchanges combined, like big boy exchanges, like the Coinbases, the Huobi's, the Gates. Just crazy how big Binance is, and also hilarious for, like the Canadians like myself and the Americans who can't even use Binance. So we still don't even know how really, big they are, which is sort of wild. But you've worked for some incredible companies. Give us the TLDR. What exactly did you at Amazon, HP, and then transition that over to Binance, and how you got the gig at IO.net?
Right. So as I say, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And now when I look at my tenure in IO, I literally feel that all the places where I've been, be it HP, eBay, Amazon, Agoda, or be it Binance, it is all there for me to learn a bunch of stuff, which is needed for me to make this platform on IO. Like that's how I literally see it and feel it on a daily basis, right? Because almost all the problems I'm solving in IO here, I basically have solved this in past, partly at a huge scale with the business context. So when we are building these platforms in IO, it's helping me a lot to build these platforms from scratch, right? So as you know, that tech things are very similar in all the companies, right? Like you basically make a scalable, resilient, fault-tolerant, and responsive platforms, right? That's every tech company, which is there in, be it like in a Web 2 world or a Web 3 world, right? But when I talk about the qualities which make you big, and things which I learned from Amazon and Binance, there are some peculiar qualities that are common in these two companies. And I see that they focus on these qualities a bit more than a lot of the other players which I've seen in the market. Namely, we all know that Binance has used blockchain and transparency to build the finance world in the Web3 side accessible to millions of people, right? How they have done it is that they have a great customer obsession. They have a high operational excellence, right?
Yeah,
They have
100%.
transparency, and they basically execute and has a clarity on their product vision like no one, right? Honestly. And it's the same qualities I had seen in Amazon also. Like I'll give you a very good example, right? When I joined Binance in the very first week, I was managing a KYC platform and Binance at that time. I was having a call with CZ, and I gave him a data point that by doing a step X, we can impact less than 0.1% of the users, but we can save around $15 to $20 million
Wow.
in terms of the cost which we have from the vendors. And without even going in details, the first answer of his was no. Focus on the users, give the best experience the user wants, right?
Wow.
Don't think about this cost. And literally, I've not seen that discussion, or even I can't even dream of that discussion with any other company which I've stayed in past, barring Amazon, right? And that shows the customer obsession and the focus he has from the company side, right? And that made me learn a lot of things why Binance was as big as we were discussing like a few minutes earlier, right? And we followed in the same way. So today, when we prioritize anything, any product, the first person we think of is the community and the users. When we build the platform, we built in a way that be it a Web 2 user or Web 3 user, it should be seamless to them, right? Whenever we think about incentives, we always think about the user first and the community first before the company itself. That's the way we built our product and the business, right? On the other side, the way Binance executes is unparalleled, like literally unparalleled, right? Like in a lot of companies, you will see that when you run a project, you will write documents of 10 pages explaining like 50 different things, spend weeks on documentation, and then they get to execution like maybe a month after, right? And that's not how you execute in Binance and Amazon. They had very, very clear fundamental, no presentation, no long documentation, just one pager for a problem statement. So for that, first of all, you don't spend hours and days and weeks on documentation. You have to be very clear in your head what you are building and why you're building it when you're communicating that vision in one pager. And you save all this time of documentation. You're right there as a builder on execution and iteration on the product. And that learning helped me a lot when I was building the product in IO, honestly. So there are a lot of these small non-tech things which makes the company succeed and become bigger, which I've learned from these 2 tenures of mine in Binance and Amazon, right? Obviously, there's a Web3 aspect to it also, which is trust and transparency, right? Which like there's no better place than Binance to learn. Focusing on the community and building the community, right? And in both these places, one thing which I also learned was how to build the best teams, hire the best teams, and propagate your message and vision to the people so they're always in tuned in the in a direction which you're headed, and make sure this message is again and again communicated to the team that anytime you're pivoting away from the core because of the business reasons, the team is always on board of the direction change and the vision you have. So these are the fundamental things I learned. And I believe this is what is enabling IO to be executing at a level which we have been doing. Like we're literally less than 1.5-year-old project, and we're the giants on the DePIN side.
Yeah,
There's a reason for it. I think these are
shipping
fundamental
like
values we
crazy.
learned.
Yeah. I love that. What a way to kick it off. Last thing here. Any other stories from working with CZ? I love that one story you brought up where you said, hey, we can save 20 mil. He's like, fuck that. I don't care. We care about the customer journey. We care about, easeability, removing friction. Only the customers. That's all we care about. Any other stories from working with CZ? One of the goats of the crypto space?
I think it was always fundamentals. Like it was a pleasure being in the meeting where he's there. I'll be telling you things which are obvious, but everybody read these things in books, but you will rarely see leaders executing on them. For instance, he's a very silent guy. When he's in the meeting, he just let people talk. He's always a listener. He absorbs everything, and then he makes a decision at the end. Even though he already has a vision where he wants to be headed, he still gives people the option and time to say their mind out and absorbs, and then he makes his decision, which is very obvious that as a leader you should do, but I've rarely seen people doing it, honestly. Like it's a very fundamental quality as a leader to learn. You read this thing in almost all the books, but it's not easy to see.
I love that. What a way to kick it off. Let's jump into IO.net. Give us the elevator pitch right now. I mean, you guys have one of the coolest websites and one of the cleanest websites. I don't know why, but I have a bit of I guess fetish might be a bit of a strong word, but I just love a good, clean website. Like, I think a lot of people don't take emphasis into obviously everyone takes emphasis into the user experience, but not a lot of people take into the qualitative user experience about how it makes you feel when you're on a website. I love your guys' website. When I was doing research for the show, I was like, damn, this is just fun to be on. It's nice, it's cool, it's clean, it's sexy. I love it. And your tagline is the internet of GPUs is finally here, which is just, again, a great tagline. Give us the elevator pitch, the TLDR, and then we'll get into the fun stuff here.
So basically when we built the business, what we did was we actually got into a room and we said, okay, let's not focus about the DePIN itself. Let's focus on and imagine if we are building an AI company, what are the fundamental things we need, right? And we started from there. And then we said, okay, when we want this step X, for example, like any AI company you build, the first fundamental thing you need is the compute, right? Then we said, okay, once we have a compute, what do we need? We need data and so on and so forth, right? And then we had, okay, if we have all these requirements for all these AI companies for them to succeed, how we can be a platform to get them enabled with these requirements in the most efficient way, right? The cheapest and the fastest and the most seamless way, right? And then we wanted to build a product where even if you're a Web2 user, you should not be even able to figure out from the UI consuming the product that it's a crypto-backed platform. That's the way we always envision the product, and that's the way we build the product. And we continuously take the feedback on what we build from community and both Web2 and Web3 users. They should be as seamless as possible, right? And we started with these values. And then when we built the platform, it was always about the user. So what we did, we basically focused on community and we said, okay, how we can benefit the community and the users together. Create a DePIN. We can get these GPUs there in the community to be brought to these startup AIs. And I've been part of some big companies where I've seen these AI engineers coming up with requirements of like thousands of GPUs. Then they create the model. The company has bought these models, bought these GPUs for them. Once these models are created in like 3 months, they have these millions of worth of GPUs just lying there for years, like waste, because the team has built the model. Now these GPUs are just waste. You need a fraction of these GPUs to train your model on a daily basis. Rest is just being wasted, right? Similar to how these, before the Airbnb times, these rooms of people which were in different cities were being vacant,
100%.
right? Nobody focused on it, right? We said, okay, there are a bunch of data centers which exist in the cities where even the Amazon, the Googles are, but nobody is focusing on them. And these platforms or data centers don't have money to fight for a position on the Google page to be shown and to compete with these centralized players. They don't have that much money, right? There are only handful number of data centers have that power to fight for position on Google listings. All the others, they're just like sitting there hoping that one day they'll get the demand, right? How we can get the inventory from there. And then the community people, like there are a lot of college students now which have GPUs. There are a bunch of gamers which have GPUs. How we can build a platform where these resources can be consumed in the best way, and we can give a very good value proposition for these AI startups to basically save millions of dollars of money when they want to consume. Like literally we had one of the customers who got around like $20 million funding, and they were about to spend $10 million just on GPUs. And when they came to us, they were only spending $3 million worth on this compute. Imagine with the $7 million worth of money they have saved, how many engineers they can hire, how many data scientists they can hire, how long a runway they can have, right? And if you enable multiple of these AI companies to survive, grow, and iterate, this whole ecosystem will just exponentially grow, right? So we are not here just to help ourselves as a business. We are here to enable other AI companies to also succeed and as a whole ecosystem to grow and win in this marketplace.
I love that. I mean, just to go over the problem for the listeners who may not be fully switched on in this regard here, how the whole thing works is if you're an AI startup, you need a shit ton of GPUs, you need computing power. You got to train the freaking LLMs, you got to train the AI. It costs an arm and a leg, just like Gaurav just said. And these companies, these AI companies, brilliant men and women, they will raise $10 million and literally 80% of the raise will go to fucking GPU clusters. Apologize for my French, but that's pretty wild how it works. There's a reason why NVIDIA and all the other companies like them are filthy, filthy rich, because where are you going to get your GPUs from? You need to get the GPUs. Fast forward to the magical world of DePIN and companies like IO.net. And what have you guys done? They can come in and they can buy your GPUs. They can pretty much just use your computing power that you guys have, which is not just yours. It's a big community of computing power, and they can get access to that. Am I on the right page there?
Absolutely, yes, you're absolutely correct.
It's truly wild how it works. And can you give like an actual example of the whole workflow? Let's say I create, Matt Zahab AI company. I'm making some weird old LLM on whatever the heck I want to be, and I need some GPU. I need some compute power. How would I get in contact with you guys? How do I get access to it? Walk me through the whole actual workflow process here.
So there are multiple product offerings which we have, and you can hire as many number of GPUs in whichever country you want, and you can just get it from the website, right? But there are some AI companies who need a specialized help. They may need more storage. They may need more powerful GPUs, which may not be there, right, on the platform. Or they may need certain help in some setup, right? Or they may need GPUs in a country which We might not have inventory, although we are like there in almost 100 plus countries currently. But there might be a case where you have a very, very specific country you wanted GPU resources in, right? So in that case, we have a customer support channel, we have a Discord group, and over there you can reach out to us and approach us, and we'll go above and beyond to help you and get it enabled, right? And then there's certain technologies and clustering things which are not on the platform, but you need. We basically are helping our customers offline right now to build those clusters also. And now, as and when we speak, this quarter we'll be launching 2 or 3 other clustering technologies. So clustering technologies, you can, in a very naive way, you can think that if you want to hire hundreds of GPUs, either you can create a software layer which enables you to seamlessly use these 100 of the GPUs in a seamless way. So that particular platform or software you have to build, or you can reach out to companies like us, which give you this software layer where you just talk to this software layer as a single product, and internally the access to the hundreds of the GPUs is seamless for you. So these cloud technologies also we provide. So we are just not a provider of hardware. We're basically a provider of a software layer also to you.
Gotcha. Okay. Very, very interesting here. Gaurav, you are on a roll, my friend, but we need to take a quick break and give a huge shout out to our sponsor of the show. That is Prime XGT. And when we get back, we are going to keep buzzing on everything IO.net related, GPU related, and of course, we're going to talk about some AI stuff and some AI integration in decentralized systems that Gaurav and the team are working on at IO.net. Until then, huge shout out to Prime XBT, longtime friends and longtime sponsors of the Crypto News Pod. We love these guys as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. Doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a vet, you can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XBT is also running an exclusive promo for listeners of the Crypto News Podcast. You can use the promo code CryptoNews50, that is CryptoNews50, all one word, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Again, that is CryptoNews50, all one word, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. And now back to the show with Gaurav. Mate, walk me through. Obviously, you're a world-class CTO. I don't want to say I'm envious of CTOs, but you guys just have, such a skill set that is so out of my realm. I'm a sales, marketing, product guy. I'm not a tech guy. With AI, however, I have been able to dabble with some tech. I've been able to launch some websites, which I could not have done in the past without using, some type of GoDaddy builder or a Shopify builder. Literally messing around with the various platforms and launching shit. It's been really, really cool, and I've absolutely loved it. Meanwhile, there's people like you who can just jump on the code and boom, 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 off to the races, magic happens. But walk me through how you and the team are currently utilizing AI, how you're integrating it into the decentralized systems at IO.net, and just sort of tie that into how the future of the internet will truly be permissionless, decentralized, and AI just in one big bottle of just superpower and goodness.
So it's a very interesting and a very good question. And we thought about it for long before we created our roadmap. So in crypto, there are a lot of times you have to run after narratives and all, right? And I see all the players doing this all the time. But the way we built our company was that we always wanted to build a fundamental business rather than running behind the narratives. So when you see a lot of companies creating their own AI agents, we thought about it. Should we build our own AI agent, right? And it could be for a problem X, problem Y, problem Z, right? And then we took a step back and we're like, okay, if we want to build AI agent, what are the things we have to deliver on, right? What are strong suits as a team? Then we realized that the team which we have built and the people we have, they have an experience in building world-class platforms, like fundamental platforms. And rather than being in a speculative world that you can pick up an AI agent in a problem X and let's execute on that, and it may work, may not work. It's much better to basically build platforms for AI agents, which they'll need for sure, right? What do I mean by that? So, for example, I'm there from Amazon and my previous tenures in eBay and all, right? Where in Amazon, we have built these cloud platforms and all in past, right? Similarly, we have a couple of people from VMware in our team who have done something similar on that side. So when you build an AI agent, what are the fundamental things you need? You need a compute, you need data, and you need platforms where you can go create a model, deploy a model, the model, scale the models deployed, right? Have a seamless access to data. These are fundamental things you need irrespective of whatever AI agent you're creating. Then we thought, okay, is it better to speculate for a problem statement you want to execute on the agent side, or it's better to create a platform which everyone will use and the whole ecosystem will succeed as a part of it? And we thought it's a no-brainer for us as a business where we build this platform. And that's the direction in the short term we're headed. Moreover, we also feel that it's such a dynamic industry that it changes every 3-4 months. So God knows what AI agent and other things will be there in like 6 months from now. We all just can speculate. I read a lot. I see a lot of podcasts. I read a lot of books. So I can give you like 5 different things which will be popular in 6 months. But that's still a speculation. One thing which we are confident of is that the platform will be needed always. And that's what we built our business around. So first thing we built was seamless access to compute at a very, very cheap price, 70% cheaper to the centralized players like Amazon, Google's, and Microsoft of the world, right? Now where we are headed where now we are creating a platform where people can access a lot of models. What do I mean by that? There are a lot of builders like me and other engineers who have created open source models, which do a world-class job. But nobody has incentives to give access to people of these models because they don't earn anything. So why would they ever like rent a lot of GPUs, deploy these models and give it for people for free, right? They don't have any incentives. But as a DePIN platform, we have these millions and millions worth of GPUs lying there. So first thing which we did, we are here for community, users and ecosystem. So what we are doing, we're basically picking best of the open source models which exist in the world, taking them, deploying on our compute and giving it to the users for free very, very soon. So you can basically access like very soon hundreds of models where you can basically chat with them, create images and so on and so forth for free till a certain limit. And obviously if you go beyond it, then we will charge you some money. But all this is free. That's the first platform we're building so that people can start building on a platform. Second thing which we're building is we're creating a platform where as a builder, you can come and you can start to create a model. Now imagine as a developer, if I have to go today and build a model, I go on platform X, I'll not take a name, rent a GPU from time T0 when I land up the platform. I spend money, I start training my model, and the moment I want to scale up, I again pay them money. And if I build the model, then nothing, I'll just put it in their archive for somebody else to use, but I don't have an incentive to create anything on that platform. I'm just spending money for my pocket. What are we doing? We're basically using tokenomics now as a part of our platform where we're building this new IO intelligence platform where we'll give a compute of a certain size for free to users for a certain time so they can come build on a platform. And if they create a model which is of a high value and a lot of interest is there, then we basically will incentivize also these builders to come again and build. And as and when their models are being used more and more, they get incentivized more and more. So basically we'll create an economy and an ecosystem where these lot of Web2 players who were never interested to come towards Web3 and start developing, they'll have incentive to come here, have the resources for free skill certain time, which they have to pay in this Web2 sites to come and build. And if they do a good job, they get incentivized for that also. So just imagine how many builders will come in Web3 from Web2 now. And this flywheel, once it starts, it'll just keep rolling.
It doesn't
and
stop.
I'm very sure that once we succeed, there'll be a lot of other players who will mimic us and build similar platform, which is good for the ecosystem overall. Like we'll solve this problem, a lot of people will mimic, they'll build more platform for people to use, and we'll go to the second problem, which the builders are facing, right? And that's what we are here for, like enabling the community and the business and the Web3 to grow overall.
Well said. Solana, we got to talk about Solana. When you guys, decided to make this thing happen, decided to launch IO.net, but Solana, no brainer from the get-go. I mean, I don't want to say I'm a Solana maxi, but I absolutely love Solana. Obviously, everyone loves Bitcoin for obvious reasons, but I think Sol's awesome. I love the scalability. I love the TPS. I love the speed. I love all of it. And it's just fun, dabbling with different products and services, and even DePIN on Solana versus ETH, or meme coins on Solana versus ETH. I personally think Solana gives the best UI, the best UX. It's super easy, clean, frig, it's cheap, which is one of the best things for most of the average Joes like myself. Was it a no-brainer to start with Solana from the get-go? And if you could just segue into, how great it's been building on Solana and talk about how users, can utilize their own GPUs and receive incentives and get paid back on the Solana blockchain.
So first of all, like very blessed that we had a partner like Solana, like honestly. And I think you talked about all the technical aspect of Solana, how they're good. There's a second piece also which people don't think about when they choose a partner, which is the team which helps you if you face a problem. And I think that's where Solana succeeds compared to a lot of other blockchains. The Solana super team and the whole like ecosystem and the community they have created of that super team, that's one of the biggest advantages that blockchain has. Like obviously they've built a great tech, no doubt about it, right? Their founders are great. They're always more than eager to help whenever we approach them with any challenge. They're always there, right? Like it has never happened that when we reach out to them for help, it takes them more than like literally half a day to respond back. Like
Wow.
that's the kind of responsiveness they have, right? Which is kudos to them. Like even though they've become so big, they're still working like a startup, which is a great quality to have. Plus the community they've built of Super Team, like that's been great. Whenever we need to explore a new product, which they have in offering, like I can't expose you right now. We're building something with them right now with one of the SDKs which they've built. We're building on that. The moment we saw that, we reached out to the community where the Solana Super Team guy heard about our request, and like straight from day one, he started engaging. And he was giving us details, he was throwing data, use this documentation, use this documentation. If you need a demo, I can give it to you. I can jump on a call. And within a day, we were up and ready and running, like along with them. That's a value which they provide, which none of the other platforms give. Like, I'm sure a lot of the tech and blockchain product which are coming in future, they'll have advantage over Solana because they've seen what Solana have done as an ecosystem and as a design and architecture, and because they have a leg up because they're building something from scratch, what Solana has already done, they can build a bit better, but you can't beat their ecosystem and community. Like that's for sure. And a
Yeah.
combination of both makes them a no-brainer to be used.
Well said.
Like that's what I will say, and that's what like I see personally. On the GPU side, I think if anybody wants to add a GPU to our platform and start using it, it's a seamless product. You can go to our website. We have a documentation there. It basically gives you a different multiplication factors that if you give a 4090 GPU, what is the percentage or what is the rate of like incentive you can get? If you give a higher H100, what is the rate of incentive you can get? And depending on that, you can provide your respective GPU to us. And then we do a bunch of tests on a GPU, whether what you're claiming as a hardware, it's actually true. What is the speed you're claiming? Is it actually true? And there are multiple other metrics which we test. And once your hardware is proven to be of good quality, your network is proven to be of good quality, then we add you as a part of the network. And from there, you get block rewards as incentive to be part of the network. But that's very simple. Like it's a very simple product. We always wanted to build this whole thing in a very seamless and easy way. There's no magic to it. Like that's it. That's all it is. It is to add a GPU on our platform.
Well said. Gaurav, what an episode, my friend. Last thing before we let you go here. Any news popping off? Again, your episode's going to air about a week later than when you and I are recording today. Any news popping off over the next couple of days, or things to look forward to over the next couple of months, perhaps a year, give or take? Anything? Give us some good news before we let you go here.
So I think the main product I already gave, IO Intelligence. So we built a platform from the business aspect, just not from tech perspective. And that's what you would have seen with numbers also, that we just 3 months back had a less than $1 million worth of revenue. And within 3 months, we had 30 plus revenue almost, right?
Yeah,
Right
it's
there.
insane.
And
Yeah.
now what we are doing was we were talking to a lot of our customers. What do you need? What do you need? And then they came back, okay, we need these platforms of creating models, deploying, inferencing. So we are building a whole host of products in this side. And the way we do matters, I know that a lot of projects give you 1 year vision, 2 year vision, and so on and so forth. We know that the industry is very dynamic. The eventual vision of ours is that within a year and a half, if you need compute, we'll provide you. If you need data, we'll provide you. If you need distributed storage, we'll provide you. If you need distributed decentralized networking, we'll provide you, right? Anything decentralized you need as an AI platform and ecosystem, we'll be there to provide you that product, right? So we'll become single stop shop for anyone creating a decentralized AI platform. That's we want to build. And that's what our next 1.5 year vision is. But the industry is so dynamic that things are being innovated like every quarter. And one thing which I've learned being in this industry is rather than reinventing wheel all the time, see what is being innovated by different players, do collaboration, do synergies, and create a shared value, right? That's why we only see 3 months in future, which we know we will execute it for sure. And if somebody else builds something, we're always there to collaborate, synergize, and give a shared value, right? And the next 3 months, what we're building is a real business use case, which our customers is asking, which is give us a platform to create, deploy, inference a model, give all these models which are there in the outside world for people to for free, and like just enable it. That's the first thing. And once that gets done, in 3 months we can meet again. We'll again would have gone back to our customers, would have asked, okay, what do you need now? And all this cloud platform, which I said we want, which Amazon has on the Web2 side, we have the plans to do the same in Web3 end. We'll see what our customers need, and then the respective thing we'll prioritize in our roadmap, and we'll be there in like Q2 doing that.
Gotcha. I love it. Last thing, before you go, can you please let our listeners know where they can find you personally and, of course, io.net online and on socials?
You can actually hit me on Telegram. My handle is @search Gaurav. You can find me on X, and I'm there in Discord group also. I normally check X on a daily basis, so if you reach me out there, I'll reply. Else you can reach me on TG directly also.
And as always, I will include everything in the show notes for io.net. Folks, what an episode with Gaurav Sharma, CTO of io.net. He was bringing the noise on this one. We discussed everything DePIN, the Internet of GPUs, AI integration in decentralized systems, building on Solana, and some great stories from working on Amazon, HP, and Binance, and some stories of CZ, the man himself, and some great advice for fellow CTOs as well. Huge shout out to Gaurav and the team for making this happen. If you guys enjoyed this one, I hope you did. Please do subscribe. It would mean the world to my team and I. Speaking of the team, love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. And back to the listeners, keep on growing those bags and keep on staying healthy, wealthy, and happy. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.